Okay, I'm back. This is, I think it's part 9 of the continuation of the topic of discussion block, all encompassing anthology series, featuring myself and Jermaine Shoemake, among others. So let's get right to it.
So you guys can have clarity and won't be fighting with each other. And if he needs, oh, here you go.
Man, I've been vanished like a fat in the wind. Our daughters.
Hold on.
Man, I've been vanished like a fat in the wind. Our daughters love being alone with men they don't know after the frat party with their hot asses. Our daughters love being alone with men they don't know after the frat party with their hot asses. Girls who are molested go on to develop fetish personality disorder. Fetish personality disorder. This is my disorder. I made it up. Fat. We all know what a fat is. That hole over there. Girls who are molested go on to develop fetish personality disorder. Fetish personality disorder. This is my disorder. I made it up. Fat. We all know what a fat is. That hole over there. Multiple orgies, multiple hair jobs. Multiple orgies, multiple hair jobs, fetish personality behavior. A lot of black girls and black women suffer from fetish personality disorder.
Black and brown women all the time. I guess he just added in other women and make it seem like it's some generalization of a context, but it's not. He's specifically talking about neuromelanated black and brown women.
We all know what a fat is. That hole over there. Multiple orgies, multiple hair jobs. Multiple orgies, multiple hair jobs. Fetish personality behavior. A lot of black girls and black women. Black women suffer from fetish personality disorder. Fetish personality behavior. A lot of black girls and black women suffer from fetish personality disorder.
Now check this out, fam. This is why he's in deep trouble. It's not us. It's not us. Umar's making crucial mistakes. This is a report from, what did I say? Fox News? White supremacy at its finest.
You got that right.
Fox News. Fox News got him talking about blowing police officers' head off, taking their gun and blowing police officers' head off. A PhD professional cannot say that live. Fox News got a hold of it. Do you know Fox News has research teams? Fact checkers? Umar got himself in trouble with the national media, not the black conscious community. We don't even usually report on stuff like that. We'll have discussions on current news, but he's been dug into because he's on national TV shows talking reckless.
What?
Listen.
Caucasian raw supremacy want to do nonsense like that. They want to be reckless like that. They want to have massive influence on young neuromelanated black and brown brothers coming up in this nation across the continuous continental lines.
He said it's time for us to step up, right?
He ain't gonna
Which
do
it is,
like that.
but you, as a professional, can't say step up and talking about fucking up the police and blowing their head off. You just can't do it. And I'm just trying to give you guys clarity on why he's caught up in trouble. It's all his doing and self-sabotage.
Caucasian raw and Christian power structure in this
You get into a fight with one of these police and take their gun away and blow his goddamn guns out. And I say that in honor of every black man, woman, and child.
As soon as the law enforcement pull up on his ass, he all yes sir, yes ma'am, no sir, no ma'am, type ass nigga.
We need examples of black defiance.
He's telling people we need examples of black defiance. Now, I don't have a problem fighting back.
Me either.
I'm just giving you clarification, letting you know a PhD that's trying to open up a school for kids cannot say that. He cannot say that on national, in public like that. I mean, these are crucial mistakes this man is making. He's blowing it for everybody. We're not blowing it for him. He's blowing it for us with being unprofessional.
Example of black defined it forces other black people to take a chance to. Ferguson is getting us out of our comfort zone. With Ferguson, we got a little bit more courage. But guess what? We're going to need a few more examples of black defined to rally everyone else. I don't know the unit issue in
Now, this is like an application, and it's just basically telling you what Umar scope is. The wording is tricky, and that's why people are confused. Before you get a license, you can be in public, not school settings. You can consider yourself a resident psychologist.
You never said anything about that.
A psychology trainee or a psychology resident.
You never said anything
until you pass that test and get your license.
Academic units in Pennsylvania. So psychology resident would be when you're working on your license and you're under supervision. Okay? So I want you to look.
Where is his supervision?
Okay? So I want you to look at these documents and actually put the actual link. And I want you to look at these people. And I want you to look and see how involved the process is.
Investigative analysis she did.
It's not, quote, signing off on hours. You meet, you go over your cases. Look at it.
Shout out to the person that actually did this video also.
Okay?
So when you get your PhD, to become a licensed psychologist, you have to do 3,000 hours and pass this test. So it's involved. So a lot of people, like my ex who had a PhD in vision science, she didn't want to do all the extra stuff to become an optometrist. So she can just call herself Dr. Harrington, who has her PhD. But she can't call herself an optometrist until she passed certain requirements and do all these extra hours. But most people get their PhD. A lot of people just say, fuck it, I'm tired of school, I ain't going back.
You gotta go through.
It just means you're incomplete as a psychologist or whatever it is.
He thinks he has a right to use titles.
You do that
he
all
has
the time.
Absolutely no legal right to use the titles. I think it's so funny how you're hearing people on the internet talk about.
This was on News 1. Look,
One always do that
News
nonsense.
1.
Child therapist.
Umar Johnson, PhD. Educator, that's fine.
Educator.
Pan-Africanist. Africanist, that's fine.
You mean social media
He
educator?
has his label
Instagram
on News 1
YouTube educator?
as child therapist, meaning you're doing therapy with children, which requires a license with a master's or a PhD. This stuff is on national. Who owns News 1? Not black folk. These people have teams, and you're on these stations arguing back and forth and Bogart and talking crazy. Who owns News 1? Not black folk. These people have teams, and you're on these stations arguing back and forth and Bogart and talking crazy. First of all, I would never, it's not wise. You're on the show claiming these titles while your certificate as a school principal is expired.
The highest level.
And you don't have a PhD license. That's crucial mistakes that are unwise.
Are expired.
And people talk about, oh, he never said that. He always say, what did he say? No. Umar makes mistakes constantly on national TV, and that's why he's caught up. I will not let nobody blame the conscious community. I want this man to be responsible for his mistakes.
Never.
And not blame everybody. Every time something go wrong, he blames everybody. That's improper and unprofessional, and I'm not letting this dude mess up the brand like that. This is not hate. This information is out there. I'm giving you guys clarity so you can be a little more knowledgeable. Because right now you guys are gullible. Women are letting a beard throw off their vision because they got a crush and they don't see the light that Umar Johnson messed up his own. He self-sabotaged himself
all the time
because he can't get to school, and no, he can't. And I'm gonna tell you why on another video coming up. He was never able to do it. Not because it wasn't possible, because he doesn't have the
negative reciprocated.
He's not set up to. He doesn't have a real estate team.
Characteristic attribute.
He doesn't have credit things going on, credit repair. He turns everyone down who wants to help him. He was never in a position to purchase. Damn.
Snitches. Umar Johnson did this to himself, people. And I think it's so hilarious. Black people, they don't get it. We don't get it, and that's why we're in the situation that we're in now.
So true. You guys don't get it. And you're not helping Umar by justifying his behavior. Even if you support him to the utmost, which I've always been supportive a little bit, until I seen it was some fraudulent and bullshit going on. Even if you support him, when you got if somebody's your friend, you care about them, you tell them the truth. You tell people the truth so they can take a look at themselves and then correct themselves. You guys are enabling bullshit. You guys got him caught up by being Umarites and not thinking clearly. And you correct your friends. You correct the people who you love and care about. That's what I do. All my homies know X will check my ass. Don't come over here talking to X with that bullshit. That's why a lot of my homies don't fuck with me. I will check you. And that's why I have a best friend. He knows I checked him and he loves me and he thinks about it and he'll call me and say, X, you was totally right about that. You were right. I wasn't thinking, I was emotional. You were right, X. I said, Billy, I know I'm right.
There for the reinforcement of the Caucasian Christian.
I'm going to end this. Umar Johnson got himself in trouble. Now, I'm going to show you from a real estate perspective what's going on and why this hasn't went down. Okay? I'm out.
That's all right. Financial control complex. He just continuously perpetuates that and propagates that, as well as negative, reciprocating, connotative, detrimental, characteristic behavior attributes that he has, that he self-projects onto other people. It's already pre-existing in us, but it is exacerbated because he's a master manipulator. You can say that much about him. And as we already know that he has a real hard time, of listening and taking heed to like multiple statements and instructions when you know you're in the wrong, you know you're lying, you know you're scamming, you know you're conning, you know you're being very manipulative, but you still keep going with it. That you're related to the Douglas Bailey family and the Tubman Ross family. They don't want anything to do with them, as you can read from the statement. Been denounced multiple times, and he keeps trying to tie himself to that family. For years on end, and that had come out multiple times, different family members, multiple times, different statements, even recorded statements, on television, through social media, telling this man to stop associating himself as a relative with the Douglas Bailey and the Tubman Ross family, but he won't stop. Same thing with his father, kept perpetuating the nonsense, the lie in the first place when he got found out to be a lie when he did a DNA test. An ancestry DNA test, and he comes to find out he's not related to the Tubman Ross family or the Douglas Bailey family whatsoever. But that's what he does. He takes the accomplishments of other neuromelanated black and brown peoples from our past history and the continuous continental landmass of North, Central, and South America, and it correlates to himself. It makes it seem like he's living vicariously through their experiences and their accomplishments and goals and aspirations and the hardships, trials, and tribulations they went through. He's living vicariously through them. They make it seem he's like the reincarnation of them, or he's the prodigy of all those like great people. Yeah. That's when young Pharaoh went off on him. But like I said, you can't find that video anymore because his channel got disabled. $50 piece to go up on the bus to support him during his court case. I've heard now these professional donation seekers and charlatans are hilarious people that support them and follow them. And it's debauchery. It's crazy as it's seen. I mean, as they are. I've seen it all now. I mean, they are. They're sycophantic people. They go for anything that man does and says. And you see here. Yeah, some people actually pay for that shit. My fools. I'm sorry. They know who he is. They just don't really care about what he's actually doing. He's not a member of the Black Association of Black Psychologists. Sorry. I advise our association names as the resource and he's doing public speaking. I will alert the President, Dr. Roberta Jackson Roman, if the President is there any literature or communication received that can force our President of the details of his efforts. Lying his asshole. That was not you. As you always saying, he was a clinical psychologist way before 2012. And he was an assistant principal at any charter school. Been employed by charter schools as a certified. What charter schools you been employed by during the year? Trinity. Auspice of the. So that's where you worked at? That's the link when actually said that. It's after the hearing of the Philadelphia Board of Psychology back in January 2019. This Fort laws upon detractors and neutral persons who need not bother attending that you about who. Let's see. It's not a trial, but a hearing. It says, see how he dresses the white establishment and compare how he likes to address his own and interact people asking about his credentials. I'm talking about neuro black and brown people, how he interacts with them and asking about his credentials compared to the Caucasian audience. How he interacts with them and how he addresses them. Because you see, he's scared to death of them. Very much so, a sycophant of sheeple and acquiescence to them. He conforms to them easily enough. No questions asked. So I'd like to point out something. Notice when Umar was defended by white men, was summoned by white men to stand before them and defend his credentials, to be transparent and give an answer about his claims about he's been making about himself and the work he's been doing on his credentials. Umar responds post-hate with graciousness and the utmost respect for the white man's demands, their institution, their vetting process, in which he says mean nothing. Vetting verification processes. Contrast to his response to people of African descent when he asked him for when we asked him for transparent accountability, when we asked him to provide his credentials, when we asked him to provide such clear documentation of how much money he's collected for his mysterious school and when he's done with that money. When they asked him for document plans for said school, like the business plan, the school plan, they asked to file with Delaware State Department of Education. The Brandywine Newcastle School District will have authoritative jurisprudence over this private independent parochial charter school he will have. You know, he has to go through that processes and request the accreditation, and the certification process would take months. It's not an instantaneous process there. He has done none of that. No letter of intent filed with the Wilmington, Delaware either. Okay. When we asked him for document plans for said school, and we thus far repeatedly heard about, but see no discernible evidence that any work has been done towards the building of this school. Umar saw fit to call black people ungrateful, trifling niggas, coons, self-hating Negroes, and made ever had all of this relevant information and himself behind the wall with charismatic deflection lies and Trump lies, sycophantic sheeple supporters. This demonstrates how little respect Umar has for the people of Akamani descent. It's clear that his self-appointed melodramatic egomaniac, Ashiki Messiah, has received over $500,000, but since like 2005, 3.5 plus $1 million in my estimation. A huge cult following, celebrity status, and lucrative speaking engaged on the backs of mostly poor black people live at or below the poverty line, their own government assistance, single black mothers. He claimed to represent, but couldn't be bothered to go through a little vetting process, is a true trifling ass ungrateful Negro. You got that right. So let's get to that hearing. Well, there is some more video actually what happened to the hearing, because those videos got disabled or privatized or taken down. But I'll show you the incident of what happened afterwards. Not the residence, but the actual business he went to, and most people he say he bought for, like his first mistress, FDMG, his on again off again girlfriend Sharon Thomas, the biracial admixed woman. They said like for the art studio on North Riley Street in Harrisburg, like $60,000, but it was actually purchased back in 2012, I think, for like close to $160,000. But it had nothing to do with the purchase whatsoever. And I think Jermaine should make probably $40,000 to $60,000 just to establish a business there. And I will get in that because it's like a whole new tangent and it's like a whole quandary to go through. So let's get to that.
82119 is coming, black family. Black power, we here. So what you got to say about the naysayers, the coons out there? You gotta let them know.
That's right. That's Andy Miller right
Coon is always gonna be a coon. And we gotta stop reproducing coons. Don't have babies with coons, because you keep on replicating replicating that coon consciousness. We got to reproduce the coons out of existence. They still our family. I still love them. It hurts that during this whole ordeal, fighting for my credentials and my livelihood, that brothers and sisters couldn't respect me enough to say, you know what, y'all? That brother, they trying to take his credentials, his livelihood. Let's leave him alone at least until he get through this.
That's right.
These Negroes capitalized on it. I'm seeing everybody making videos, making fun of me. He ain't got no doctorate. Okay, when you clearly heard him in there tell you, they wasn't questioning the doctorate. They wasn't questioning the cert. They simply saying that I was practicing as a clinical psychologist without a license. Something I've never done. Something I've never done. You know what I mean? So again, it's a shame that we didn't have enough respect for our children. Not me. Those credentials allow me to help our babies. It ain't about me. Those credentials allow me to help our children. And you coons couldn't.
Pause. You hear what he just said? He said, I never practice without a license. So he's just letting you know right then and there that I don't have a license, so I'm not allowed to practice whatsoever. So he just told them I never, practice because I don't have my certification, or it's not current, or my license is in revocation. So I'm not allowed to actually give advice as a certified clinical psychologist or school or child psychologist, or as a family therapist or a child therapist. I'm not licensed or certified to do that. I never did that, is what he said.
Our babies and our future to say, hands off Dr. Umar, at least until the situation is over. So I'm very disappointed in a lot of you who seized on my misfortune in order to build a platform for yourself.
This is the part I want to get to. I'm leaving.
Yes, sir, I do it all myself. Got my number. Well, you go where we going anyway, right? Yeah. Make sure you get my number because I'm ready to start shooting this month. I'm serious. Yeah, that's what it's time. Yeah, that's what he do, editing. You got to text me and put your face on it so I know I'm talking to because I get hit by too many people. You know what I mean? I knew you had an influx of phone calls. Got to put your face and I say, okay. I know faces, but I forget the name.
This is it. This is the
history.
You are in years to come. People going
right. They're gonna be talking about this day right here, bro. I do believe what just happened in this. Yeah. It's 4 years, and you got 2 Breakfast Club clips out of 4 years of investigating me.
It's a witch hunt, man. Like you know how it's the same thing from slavery. Like when they try to.
Yo, snap a picture with me and Umar real quick. Hey, Umar,
we're gonna follow you. Hey, look. We're your camera crew for the day, bro. I can shoot all 3 hours, bro. We can
snap over there. Get the call with my man.
I'm gonna follow y'all.
Okay. 215. Huh? What is 215?
Raleigh
What's
Street.
the address, sir? He said 215. R-E-I-L-Y, Raleigh Street. 4 minutes away.
Now, I do gotta say that he bought this property to Jerry Dawkins. He bought property, but he bought it some money to actually open a business. She don't own that place.
Am I good or you need to ride with
I'll give you all the background information on Sharon Thomas and what's going on.
Oh, you can hop in. I'm hopping in. Oh, my camera. Yo, you already said it, yo. You good, Lo? I'm just saying, I'm seeing you.
There's all the female conferences, just like the whole tantrum I'm getting into there right now.
Sorry.
Peace, we riding with Dr. Umar. You gonna hold this show? Yeah. 4 years. 2 Breakfast Club clips, man.
Couldn't even pronounce Breakfast Club.
Wow. So what was it? Who set this whole thing up? Was it the cracker or was it the state?
The state?
Yeah. I don't know. The Attorney General sent the first letter.
They trying to cut you off before you get
He told me to do that. And when they do that, he get mad.
You called him.
But like I said, he totally performs the acquiescence. Bends the knee. He acts like a good house Negro. When the white man can call him about,
you can hold this. This is the iceberg. Check it out. You're recording it. See it? You see that?
Wow, it can record. Yeah.
And you see that trigger? Put your thumb on it like that control the lever, the camera. You can move it to the left, to the right. No, the left, not that one. The one at the top.
You ain't paying that man no more.
You're talking about just one more. That big button right there. Touch it up. One more. Right here. Right there. That big button. camera. So you can move it over there. Turn. Yeah, hold
I need you to help me with the documentary, The War Against Black Boys, man.
Yeah, he's good.
He ain't have to do that.
Big Boss is good. Yes, sir, because I'm here to serve the people. I am a historian. My background is engineering. I used to do
2018, January 2018.
architectural.
Is it recording?
Yeah, it's still recording.
You know, I don't car.
This is it.
No, nah.
You know, I was supposed to go to Japan yesterday.
I remember,
And they had to cancel the Tokyo joint for that.
Oh yeah, that's what he saw about. He was in the hot tubs in Japan yesterday on donation money. We will get to that video.
It hurt calling them and telling them that, man. I feel
brother
bad.
just opened up a shoe store right here.
Oh man, all right.
Gators, everything.
Oh man, what's up?
They see.
So when was you first notified about this, Dr. The first time I heard 215 Raleigh. They got a house 215. It's an art gallery right on the corner.
They say he purchased that art gallery, but he ain't.
I think it was 2014 or 2015 when I got the first letter. But I met with the guy. That's what I was telling him. I met with the guy. Came to his office and everything. Answered all his questions. Gave him the resume. So it should have been over.
Zoom into the mirror. Read the right mirror. See if we can get his face.
That's good.
About your credentials.
Organic, right?
Came on another side.
Other side? Yeah.
Yeah, my whole thing is good. People have a choice. You can either do it or you can
Peace, God. Good to see you, man. Yeah, not a word. Listen, man, you know you back in Harrisburg and what's up. You got a good bout? Okay. We'll be back, man. I just want to tell you. All right. Yeah, the games is in there. The bird for February. Hours in there, so okay. We'll speak. Yes, sir. Hey, that's the God praise this one. I know. We'll talk. All right. I'll just stand out here and be a beacon. One love.
Pay attention to who called out you first. Well, somebody else owns this building. She don't own the building.
So you know, you still setting up
residential.
Well, they good.
There she go.
All right, so you know what, y'all can grab something to eat.
Right
What you got back there? Tea?
We got coffee, we got iced tea, cold.
Go ahead and grab
And that's the
something.
one that helped write the book.
Get you some tea.
Set up the website, all that. Now, when I look up 215 North Raleigh Street, Harrisburg, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Now, pay attention to that Friend Salon at this address. It's like more on that. There, just pay attention to that. When I pull up the information on that person right there, and because, like I said, it's a residential space, and on the second floor, it says at first it was like a 2, then it's like a 3-bedroom, 1.5 bath up there. But Sharon Thomas does not stay there. You know, she has a business downstairs that Newman probably purchased for her. But let's look into how much it actually is. See here.